Hi. I guess this is video number 4, pre-election, and we're going to talk about the esteemed Obama family. Let's go back in their history a bit. Obama was the first black person to be voted president of the United States. He had backing, and some of the people he backed, in my opinion, are very bad people. He was backed like by George Soros, who hates the American way, Farrakhan from Chicago, who hates America, period. And he had a lot of what I would call Muslim roots. And if you think about Obama, he came out of nowhere. Nobody even ever heard of him. And then he ran against Hillary Clinton in the Democratic primary. And for some reason, he pulled it off. Now, what he's got going for him is that he's a soft-spoken guy. He's a decent talker to people who are not that educated, because the educated people look right through him, and they know when he's lying. Let's just take a look at some of the things that he did. His trade deals were the worst in the country's history. They put us at a huge disadvantage. They managed to farm jobs out to international countries because we couldn't compete. They had a lot of policies that ate up time to get approvals. Like for oil, they wouldn't allow fracking and stuff like that. The economy during his 8 years, went down the tubes. He tried to pass through the Obama health care. That got through, but was really determined to be a disaster, because what it did is it forced the young people who don't need insurance to pay for the older people who do need insurance. So that got us nowhere. All we did was waste 8 years of lies, misinformation, and if you remember correctly, before Obama got Obamacare in, Hillary tried it under the Clinton administration. Yes, under the Clinton administration when her husband was president. And she led the committee to do that, and guess what? She failed. That's one of her many failures. But let's get back to the Obamas. Obama made a deal that if Hillary campaigned for him, that he would make her Secretary of State. That was one of the worst decisions ever. Letting her loose international and getting involved in quid pro quo and money under the table and speaking engagements and giving Russia insights on uranium deals, etc., and also having the international countries donate millions and millions of dollars to the Clinton charity, to the Clinton Foundation. And when you look at the Clinton Foundation, you find that most of the money there never went to where it was supposed to. But I got waylaid a little bit, so we're going to go back to Mr. Obama. So when Obama saw that Hillary was in trouble in the election, and she was in trouble, and it was mostly because the people were tired of her bullcrap. So Obama put a plan into action that he would get all the people in the FBI and the DOJ, and I wouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them, who were strong Democratic supporters, and he put a plan together that would derail President Trump when he got in office. He had people spying on him. He had people leaking information. They created a Russian collusion scandal with wrong information, data that was incorrect. They lied to the courts. They forged documents. and they spied on a lot of people in the Trump circles. That's illegal. And they should be locked up for that. And it was at the highest levels. James Comey, Rosenfeld. It was just terrible. But that was their plan. So their plan was to derail any accomplishments that he could have so they could win the 2020 election or get him impeached. They started to talk about impeachment before he even took office. So that's their plan. Destroy him, destroy his credibility, don't let him accomplish too much, or get him impeached. So either way, their plan was set up in their minds to win. You either destroy his reputation where he can't win again, forget whether the data was true or false, because Obama's way of doing things is just keep repeating things, and he believes eventually the dumb people will believe it. And then they will start to carry the same message. That's what Obama does. So if you look at Obama, and I mean, he's got failed policies, failed foreign policies. He gave billions of dollars to Iran. For what? It didn't get to the people. It went to terrorists that worked against the United States. And he did it without any authority from Congress. But you didn't see anybody impeach him, did you? He's done a lot of things that were off course and did not follow the letter of the law. But the media works with him. They like him. So they don't hold him accountable. They didn't hold Hillary accountable when she did a lot of illegal things. Nor did they hold Bill Clinton accountable when he did many, many bad things. See, the media is just an extension of the Democratic Party, and in some instances, they even control the Democratic Party. So Obama, as far as I'm concerned, he went out of his way, and sometimes I do believe he may be the Antichrist, that his job was to divide the United States, take away our principles and values that made us strong in the envy of the world, and to gradually increase some of the Muslim religious ways. Like, why would you stop the Pledge of Allegiance? Or why would you stop standing for the flag? Why would you stop this stuff? Unless you want to destroy our principles and divide our country. And that's what Obama did. His family and him come into the White House with no money. Now, they got, I don't know, more than $100 million is what the rumor has. They got 3 multi-million-dollar houses. And he even got his mother-in-law to get a retirement package because she babysat his children. See, that's called using and abusing your powers and taking the people's money for your gain. But yet he's revered. He's revered the way the Kennedys were revered. You want to talk about the Kennedys? Let's say, father, booze smuggler, ties with the mafia. The Kennedy brothers fooled around with all sorts of girls, did many, many illegal things, were hated. And everybody thinks that Kennedy did a lot for the blacks. Well, the reason why he did something for the blacks, and this is my opinion, is because he went to Martin Luther King's defense when Martin Luther King was correct. He was being picked on and he was killed. But he didn't do it to defend the blacks. He did it because he needed votes to win. And if you remember Kennedy's first election, he barely won by the skin of his nose. And then he turned his back on all the people that supported him. And again, in my opinion, that's why he was killed. That's what you got. And then let's look at more of Obama to what he did. You remember when Trump was inaugurated and they shook hands and we're going to help you, tell me whatever you need? before the inauguration, he already established a shadow government to monitor everything Trump was doing and to pick holes in it. This is somebody working with you? No, this is somebody further dividing the country. And to me, he's part of a big, big hidden agenda that's looking to tear down the United States. And in this group, I believe, there's many international players. The international players hate Trump. Why? Because he got us out of these bad trade deals. He rubbed their nose in it. He made them fair where they had to pay. He got people to contribute more money to the United Nations when we were the ones footing the biggest part of the bill, and the other people weren't. So he stuck their noses in it. He got rid of the Iran deal. Instead of giving him $150 billion illegally the way Obama did, he got out of the Iran package. Because he didn't think they were following the package, and they were still creating the ingredients for nuclear weapons. So that's Mr. Obama. And now you want to go to Mrs. Obama? She's the one that says, they go low, we go high. I hate to tell you this, Michelle, but I don't think you know what high is. Do you know how many lies you've told that I've seen on TV? There's many, many of them. You know how many times you knocked off President Trump with false accusations? And or you forgot your husband did the same things and he did them worse. Worse, he did them. He was the first to start them. Example, Obama. We got to control the borders. We got to stop these people from coming in. We got to build a wall. We got to do all this. As soon as Trump wanted to do it, no, we can't do that. We need open borders. No, we ain't funding the wall. Deliberately working against Mr. Trump. And when he works against Mr. Trump, he's working against us. He's working against our country and our interests. And it's mainly because of his gain, his personal gains. So I have zero trust in the Obama family. And I truly believe that in my lifetime, he was the worst president ever. He didn't do much for the people, and he was revered because he was a minority president. And nobody wanted to tackle him. It would have been politically wrong. And he had the media on his side. Let's take a look at the media today. The media attacks everything President Trump does. No matter how small, they make a mountain out of it. No matter how false, they embellish it. Why is that? Why didn't the media make a big deal out of the fact that everything the Democrats did to knock down Trump was illegal, it was part of a conspiracy, and in my words, treasonous? And then, Mr. Obama, he protected Hillary Clinton. Remember the emails? Using her personal computer? They covered all that up. All the data was lost. The FBI people lost the data. There's still data that they requested for 4 years. They still haven't gotten them yet. Why do you think that is? That's part of the conspiracy. It's a government within the government that's working against the government. Problem is, they're not a government. Problem is, most of those leaders should be fired and indicted and spend time in jail. That's what should happen to them. But as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Obama, and again I'm going to repeat it, was the worst president that I've experienced in my lifetime. And there's been a lot of bad ones. You'll see my other videos are going to talk about them. And I don't care what party they were for. I don't care if they were for the Democrats, if they were the Republicans. I don't care. When they do something wrong, they do something wrong. And we got to learn to stop putting these people up on a pedestal because that's what we were taught. And we got to stop revering them for being incompetent. And we got to stop penalizing them for not doing their job. And we got to indict them when they do something illegal. All right, that's the end of part 4.